Alright, after a series of unexpected events, including my phone upgraded to Android 15, which you're looking at it right now, and also the brownout from earlier made things even more pushy, and because of how I am not satisfied with how I deal with ads, made it all problematic. But on the bright side, we're going to continue the Inanimate Insanity tier list with part 3, which is, of course, the Season 3 contestants. And because of how much Season 3 looks, I'm only going to include the Season 3 debuters again. So make sure you like this video, comment if you have any suggestions, subscribe to this channel, hit that notification bell button so you have options for all occasional notifications. And that's pretty much else you have to say. And you can check out my socials, which is at my link tree. You should check it out on the About page. First things first, Lightwing. But Blueberry, we're gonna get to him later. But Lightwing comes first because this guy has a lot of strategy from here. And for some reason, best friend, one-sided, weird. Box, for some reason. And yeah, that's... He used to be in, Season 2, Episode 3, when Lightwing was basically in supporting character in Inanimate Insanity 2, prominent role for some reason, but yeah, he is basically the lifesaver. He used to compete in I, plays on the Sinkers, and it was eliminated. It placed 17th overall when a 2-1 tie between him and Nickel boxed his to Lightwing on the revote, sending him to Indefinite Island, where they both lost both re-entry challenges. And he's basically a very safety-conscious lifeguard, responsible for his first aid and preventing injuries. It's very nice learning cooperative to his team in Season 3. And then in Try Your Best and Seize the Day, Lightwing is shown to be very dedicated to his job as a lifeguard, though he apparently has very short temper and does not enjoy when people fake their drowning. Despite his safety precautions, Lightwing is prone to performing his work incorrectly. Also, he's very energetic and athletic. He is being as one of the fastest runners and swimmers among the contestants. However, he's not smart when it comes to challenges. May occasionally act on ideas before thinking them through. He also gives some motivational advice as well, which is really interesting. But Lightwing might be really good, but his Season 2 appearance looked like this. But it gets even better with his Season 3 asset, maybe even Season 2 styled. I absolutely love his personality, of course, but I kinda like him in many ways. Lightwing does do the job well, especially when he is basically that guy. Alright, not B, C for this one. Moving on to the next character, Tea Kettle, who is placed 6th and 14th overall in the show. He's the quote-unquote tough mama? Wait, if anyone in the Philippines, then you're probably familiar with that brand, Tough Mama, for some reason. I don't know why, but I am so ridiculous with the Tough Mama brand name for some reason. Don't confuse that with this character. So, for some reason, she's also on the Sinkers, and she also got eliminated when she was blindsided by Nico and Balloon after failing to convince Balloon to vote out Nico in the Try Not to Laugh challenge. She is basically somewhat of a modelly figure to those around her, especially Box, Balloon, and possibly Nico help during challenges and frequently making food for her team. She's also rather sassy and not afraid to scold her team members for costing them the challenge. She appears to try to be gorgeous with other teams as well. And like Paintbrush, she seems to lose her temper quite easily, such as when somebody doesn't accept one of her gifts. When this happens, she turns red and steam comes out of her spout. Whoa. Now, this girl might be very sensical, really unexpected. And she kind of has the same feeling as Paintbrush, but because of how nice her character does, I will give her a B. And even though her character in the show is limited, that counts. Moving on, the 13th overall got out. Clover was in the Pinkers and the Thinkers. Yeah. And out of that experience, she got eliminated, placed 13th overall, and she was the whatever. Yeah, of course, she's the privileged. She's basically her mental state deteriorated to the point where she was unnecessarily voted out for the sake of her own well-being, which was that reason why she got out. She has been shown to have a streak of good luck, but initially is plenty oblivious, and yeah, she's also quite innocent and unaware, being prone to misconceptions due to her cluelessness. Subsequently, she's quick to assume, thinking she won the season when the curtains broke to only reveal her. She's also cheerful and positive to a fault, believing that an optimistic look can will anything into existence. She tries to see the bright side of everything, which can sometimes result in miscommunications. And also, she can also often seen trying to cheer on her teammates and giving pep talks to them. She can also be seen happily singing songs to herself, and even sometimes started vocalizing mid-sentence. She's also gets easily distracted by little things, and she's also seems to be easily swayed. However, after Box was evacuated from the competition, she started to be more scared about her luck, even calling it a curse and trying her best to stop it from happening. This was encouraging. Even first pointed out by Nicole, who repeatedly started calling her a witch and a murderer after the events of tragedy at 60 feet. Her luckiness does well, but in reality, okay character, but her personality in the show makes it decent, but I absolutely love her in any way. Even I absolutely did a fan art of her, at least one St. Patrick's Day thing. Alright, moving on to another object that switched from the Pinkers to the Thinkers in episode 7. This was Goo, 9th person eliminated and placed 12th overall and by elimination order. He's the fluid, and basically his poor challenge performance in the title DVD. He was unsuccessful in the campaigning against Candle to swing vote on the team, resulting in him being voted out 3-2, of course. And he's basically very energetic and bubbly character who is always smiling and generally upbeat. He enjoys rambling and eventually getting off topic after long periods of talking. He frequently uses unusual analogies when speaking, and he observes that his analogies do not always stick, quote-unquote stick, resulting in many awkward conversations. Regardless, he remains optimistic, reasoning that even a bad impression is memorable. He's often described as a quote-unquote sweetheart due to how kind he is to other people. Most of all, Goo wishes to bring joy to his fellow contestants. He does this with his best friend Bot, and they call themselves the Cheer Factory. He sometimes takes this role more seriously than the game itself, and is perfectly content to lose a challenge if it means making someone happy. Despite optimism, he's prone to anxiety, which he does not conceal well. When things go wrong, he panics and frequently collapses under pressure. Whatever happens, he does his best to remain positive and assist his team. He uses pine cones as a stress reliever. Interesting. Goo might be interesting, but I absolutely love his character throughout the show. And I kind of like his instincts, so it's good time that I absolutely love him. So, I absolutely love Goo's character, and I absolutely enjoy it. And he does even have a lot of optimistic energy, so A for him because of how nice he is. Moving on to the 4, which is another contestant from the Thinkers who has been since episode 1, and he is basically the first season 3 contestant who got out in the merge phase. He's placed 10th overall and the 11th person to get eliminated. And he's the Down Under, and sometimes called Flory. Well, he was blindsided by two of his alliance members, flipping to the Looney Balloonies to quickly gain control of the vote, which happened in Pesty Besties. And because he doesn't even like to go somewhere else because he's basically the island itself. He decided to become a co-host, and home is where the heart is. And due to him being unwilling to leave the island as he is the island, by extension, the competition in as a result was inevitable to go to Indefinite Island and compete in the second re-entry challenge, which is okay and kind of a bit fair. But anyways, he's quite cheerful, laid back, and a generally good-humored person. He enjoys eavesdropping on others' conversations and occasionally offering his own commentary. However, he can shown to be angry with Stefan, specifically his place, and his forthright when voicing his opinions or concerns, and often to scare others by shouting erratically to be heard from below them. He can, however, forget important details long after they're relevant. He's been shown to have rather selfless and willing to help anyone in need. And he's also shown to be very easily trusting of others, also shown in that episode when he became the co-host. And yeah, he's basically grounded teleportation, earthquake, and blah blah blah. He's basically an interesting thing because I absolutely kind of make nice. He's basically weird, especially the fact that 1,337 times 7 funny little face thing. Okay, that's basically otherwise Freeland is presumably an insult, but this quote-unquote ground face thing, hold on 1 second, these new notifications doesn't even make it sensible, but yeah, the floor is very okay, and I kind of bit okay with his radical characters. I'll put him in A, especially the fact that he's basically ish. Alright, moving on to Kando, another one of the OG thinkers, and 13th person that got eliminated, placed 8th. And Kando, as a character specifically, does even do the job well, especially that she's the mindful, being involved in numerous blindsides, having a chokehold on the game entirely. She wasn't under the radar mastermind with many open hands in the end. However, in Friend of Rose, composition with Nicole and Silver Spoon over her balloon caused the somewhat colored contestant a spot split, holding plan against the Looney Balloonies, siding with the remnants of the new old thinkers to blindside Candle in a 3-2 vote, sending her to Indefinite Island where she stayed until she lost the re-entry challenge, ending her game in 8th place. She's very mellow and calm contestant. She's often seen meditating with her eyes closed and usually at ease, though she can allegedly feel switch or imbalances that can worry her. Even so, she's quite fearless, which is okay. She can be selfless, offering classes to yin-yang so they can practice mindfulness and meditation, as well as calming down others, like during the thinkers' struggle for leadership. At times, she can also be very sarcastic and literal. She can also sometimes be seen verbalizing onomatopoeia instead of making the sounds, like saying sigh rather than sighing. She has a manipulative side, which is especially brought out by Silver Spoon. She seems to be very self-serving at times, flipping alliances on a dime in order to further advance herself in the game. In Crisis, she's want to take a stand against her enemies and those who threaten her friends, such as this the jury of fears, where she used her inner flame attempt to find out the untraditional community. And she has telekinesis and telepathy, which is very nice. Inner Flame does really great, but at end basically really nice. Her appearance is very calm, and I absolutely love it. But regardless, she is basically amazing. I absolutely love her character, but I'm really happy for it. Moving on, and I rank Candle an A. Now to Bart, which is one of the OG thinkers and like 7 overall. And don't confuse her with Bao, which Bart calls herself Bao prior to title TBD. And for some reason, they are basically, yeah, of course, their game began aligned with the majority of every single early vote. Despite a mid-season identity crisis, they retained strategic agency in the majority alliance until deep into the merge when Kendall was blindsided after Bart's old plan was taken advantage of by Balloon. Bao but then found themselves on the chopping block due to a deadlock tie between Super Spoon and Yin Yang, with the non-tie players unable to reach contestants. Randomized tiebreaker between the vulnerable players was forced, and Bot was the one eliminated at random, and Spring on the block for sending them on indefinite island. And they concluded in 7th place. And before we went to first, they were looking like Bao, except that had actually shown an out-of-body experience. They were built by Fan and Test Tube. Bot was built to replace Bao, who had permanently died. And while Bot was created to be a mechanical replica of Bao, including gadgets which is the latter used to say programmed on them, their personality is different from the character they replicated from. They are much friendlier, more intelligent, and self-reflective than their counterpart, while also not saying the typical Valley Girls like and totally as frequently as Bao does. They're being shown to be a little more sarcastic as well, possibly picking the trade up from Nickel. Unlike most robots, they have feelings like a human despite running as a regular machine. Only their feelings, of course, can be customized and self-programmed given the traits of any personality a regular, unique person would get. They're shown to be extremely empathetic with those around them, showing extra sympathy to the people they feel are similar to them, and they're also afraid. They aren't afraid to go against others' wishes and do what they feel is right. They also can easily make others happy through their empathy and confidence. Even though their robot also has visual spatial intelligence and possibly logical intelligence because they're going to be a visual learner. And then they're also creative, problem-solving, open-minded, optimistic, artistic, and perceptive. And of course, they somehow use their imagination and visuality to create their future self in a drawing that also remind them that can still be interpersonal as a reminder, which after when they found out their new life to start, which makes sense, but their character is basically, of course, their character in season 3 is amazing, and it's basically had the same aspect as Bao, but even better because of how nice they're looking at, especially after those events of Title TBD, and their personalities were even better than that of the original Bao, which I had to say I have no words for them. So I'll put them in the S tier. 3 characters left, and let's get things crazy with Blueberry, which is the first contestant eliminated in the first episode, and then eventually he returned and Blueberry, and then the 16th person eliminated in the Great Bluish Bake Off, placing 5th overall. This guy is really tough. Yeah, I see. So he's the blue, and he's basically a lot. Well, he is basically challenge threat and poor social connections, which is really shocking. And also, he's shown to have little to no self-confidence and quite pessimistic, apathetic, and lazy. However, this seems to be driven by his nihilistic belief that nothing matters, resulting in his rather gloomy disposition and reluctance to anything whatsoever. However, shown in Blueberry's very tactical when he's motivated, with him faking his own death very strategically so that he could rejoin the game. This shows how, despite his blue demeanor, he's secretly a huge threat, which is okay. He's also shown to be egotistical, as he was constantly gloating about his victory. However, as he said during elimination, I'm gonna keep them running till they turn out the lights. Although Blueberry has a dislike for many things, including himself, he enjoys desolate, dark, and gloomy environments, making Indefinite Island a suitable location for him. He also reveals in his exit interview that he actually thinks of himself as an optimistic person who helps other people be their best. Blueberry might be fine, but to be honest, unfortunately, his character is not much even better these days, but it's basically my least favorite out of those season 3 guys. So D tier. And now for Silver Spoon and Cappy. Well, these two finished their placements, and first things first, Silver Spoon was the Thinkers switched to the Pinkers, finished second runner-up in 3rd place. And Silver Spoon also has some same traits as Candle. I'm gonna get to him. So he's the quote-unquote Rico of the show, and despite not being rich or royal, he plays the part very well. He's act very refined and posh, but also acts as very self-centered and rude to others. He seems to view people and challenges as being beneath him, although this might be an act as he enjoyed jumping off the cliff. This personality also seems to make him call many contestants dear, mostly to Candle. And he's also exceedingly paranoid about how others see him, and then, of course, this is basically less paranoid after seeing an embarrassing picture of himself, and it became an ego-building experience for him. This would most likely be because Silver thinks that he's worthless. He is intelligent and has a capacity for strategic judgment even when under pressure. He craves the recognition and respect of his teammates, perhaps the possession of power. Due to this, he appoints or considers himself to be in leader positions. He's susceptible to great jealousy when someone else has more recognition than him. So Silver Spoon has the same thing, of course, as that of Inner Flame, of course, and he can turn gold any time. But his quote-unquote highness might be poshy, but to be honest, I kind of like his instincts, especially the fact that in every episode where he was appearing, he's sort of like having a good feeling about anything else. But Silver Spoon might be a very interesting character. But because of how nice he did and how respectful he can do that, I'm gonna put him in the same thing as Candle, his quote-unquote alleged boyfriend. So now we're down to the pink contestant that eventually stayed on the same team ever since the first episode. Cabby. Place 7th person eliminated and best served code. We joined in I Am Chocolate and the winner of Inanimate Insanity Invitational. Brace yourselves. So, she is the collector, and putting her trust in Chess 2, she was originally eliminated after an anonymous blindside vote against her, but she's able to rejoin the game after staying in Indefinite Island. She competed herself in the merge before the finals, where her showcase of strategy, loyalty, and redemption. But the game won her set game in a 7-6-2 vote by the jury, beating out fellow finalist Balloon, which placed 2nd, and Silver Spoon, which placed 3rd place. And, okay, real-life replica of Gabby and a plushie for some reason. Okay, stop being so stupid. Anyways, she's someone who puts an incredible amount of effort into everything she does. Her very first lines on the show indicates to the audience and the rest of the cast her intelligence, meticulousness, and desire to leave a strong first impression. She's also a very diligent and observant person. The majority of the data she keeps in her files on the other contestants comes from her observations. And Carrie's files are very important to her, both as something she needs to remember things and as her passion for documenting information, which she works very hard on and is confident about. For this reason, though she's generally kind to the others, it upsets her and she tends to retaliate when others take her files without asking them to downplay the veracity of her research. Okay, and despite her attachment to anyone's files, she will happily allow others to borrow files if they ask her, which she also loves to share her insight if she deems it's relevant to the conversation. And it is possible that Gabby is more confident in her work than she is in herself. But speaking about her work, she tends to separate herself from it and is far more critical of herself than she is of her research. And yeah. Trust is something that matters a lot to Gabby, and she spends the majority of the competition trying to build trust with the others of the show. And, of course, and she meant giving a chance, she is shown to be very caring towards other people, especially those as her friends. And she wants to understand people, as she said in her exit interview, citing this as her primary reason to keeping files on other people. She spends most of past besties overcompensating for her lack of bonds on that show in an effort to prove Tess Troop wrong and win people over. She goes as far to give her own Inanimate to Yin Yang, forfeiting any chance of winning the challenge herself in an effort to encourage Yin after they lost Sprinkles. Her efforts continue into future episodes. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And she's the quote-unquote database of the show. She's basically keeps files, everything, but her service winner made it worth it because her character in the season 3, in the 2-part season 3 finale, or whatever you call it, it made even better because Cabby, as the winner of season 3, is absolutely amazing, especially the fact that her trust, loyalty, and strategic plans worked. So I absolutely even love her, and I absolutely really like her character anyway. So, with that being said, S for Cabby. So that's pretty much it for the part 3 of the Inanimate Insanity the ranking of Inanimate Insanity character. So there you go. S on the list, Bao, Bot, and Cabby. A on the list, we have the same, but now we have added Goo, the Floor, Candle, and Silver Spoon. B, we added. On the B tier, we have Tea Kettle and Clover. C tier, we only added Life Ring. And same goes for D except for Blueberry. Nothing else much on the rest. But that's pretty much it for the part 3 of the tier list. So make sure you enjoyed this video. Thank you guys for watching. Please don't forget to like this video, comment if you have any suggestions, subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell button and you have options for all occasional or serial notifications so you don't miss new videos whenever I have to post. You can also check out my socials, which is at my link tree. You can check it out on the About page. And part 4 might be coming this month, and we're gonna focus on the Meeple side of characters, so stay tuned for more of this. And then after all this, miscellaneous characters. So we'll see you around in the next video whenever I need to. See you around, and yeah, cue the outro please.